Alrighty. Hello. How are we doing? It is 10:06 on the East Coast. Sunday evening. Probably a shorter stream for you to hear tonight. I didn't really plan anything out, and I'm feeling kind of ill. But there are a couple things we can get into here, and we will get into here. Oh boy. Alright. Oh man. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Had a good time. Hope you got some things done. We're able to chill out. Um Oh man, okay. So a couple things here. God, I don't even know where to start. Everything's so annoying too. So much discourse happening today. I wanted to take a look at that the like Chappelle Roan discourse shit that's been happening with like her guard or her security guard or whatever, because it keeps popping up and I want to actually know what's happening. Like I'm curious to find out what bullshit is going on with her now, because there's always some shit, and it's always the most ridiculous shit too. I everything I've learned about her, I have learned not of my own volition. Like, she seems fine. All the discourse is incredibly annoying too. Um it's very funny. But I figured we'd take a look at that. There's also some more annoying things happening. Again, so much discourse for a Sunday evening. Too much, one might say. Um all right, let's get going. Okay, so all right, as far as I'm aware, this is where this shit started. So a hold on here. Okay, this is where this started. A Brazilian football player. I'm not even gonna try and say his name. That's just not even happening tonight. I can barely say Chappelle Roan's name today. Like fucking. Uh, so her security guard spoke to his wife and daughter in an extremely aggressive manner while they were staying at the same hotel as the singer. He said his daughter recognized Chappelle. Chapel. I don't know how she says her name actually. I may be fucking it up. I think this is Chapel. I don't know. Oh. I should probably figure that out before I start doing this. Anyway, and simply walked past the singer's table to confirm it was her, prompting the security guard to approach their table and tell his wife she shouldn't allow her daughter to disrespect or harass other people. He added that the guard said he would file a complaint with the hotel. So this kicked off a whole bunch of discourse, a whole bunch of bullshit discourse. I guess this is the actual post. I went through a very upsetting situation with my family earlier today. My wife is in Sao Paulo for Lollapalooza, Brazil. This morning, my daughter woke up incredibly excited. She even made a sign because she was so happy to see an artist she really admires or used to admire, Chapel Roan. By coincidence, they're staying at the same hotel as this artist during breakfast. The artist walked past their table. My daughter, like any child, recognized her, got excited, and just wanted to make sure it was really her. And the worst part is she didn't even approach her. She simply walked past the singer's table, looked to confirm it was her, and smiled and went back to sit with her mom. She didn't say anything, didn't ask for anything. What happened next was completely disproportionate. A large security guard came over to their table while they were still having breakfast and began speaking in an extremely aggressive manner to both my wife and my daughter, saying that she shouldn't allow my daughter to disrespect or harass other people. Honestly, I don't know at what point sorry, excuse me. I don't know at what point simply walking past a table and looking to see if someone is there could be considered harassment. He even said he would file a complaint against them with the hotel while my 11-year-old daughter was sitting there in tears. My daughter was extremely shaken and cried a lot. I've lived with football, public exposure, and well known people for many years, and I understand very well what respect and boundaries are. What happened there was not that. He was just a child admiring someone. It's sad to see this kind of treatment coming from those who would understand the importance of fans, or who should understand the importance of fans. At the end of the day, they are the ones who build all of this. I sincerely hope this serves as a moment of reflection. No one should have to go through this, especially not a child. Without your fans, you would be nothing, and to the fans, she does not deserve your affection. Okay. Interesting. Curious. Strange. Odd. A little odd, I'm not gonna lie to you. um, like, was this worth the whole post? I don't know. It seems a little weird, but she did respond. She did respond. One second. I think I bookmarked it. Hope I bookmarked it. I did. Cool. So she did respond. A response was made. I have not watched it yet, so
Who
let's take a look at this. See what we got here. Also, the football fans are being atrocious. I could get into that, but I think we all know that that's just a lot of misogyny. Like I don't know what else to say about that. There's a lot of misogyny among football fans. I don't think that is a controversial opinion to have. I think that we can all admit that. Um, I think we can. I think that's a fair conclusion to come to. Uh, Not saying that you're all misogynist. Just there's definitely a problem, especially online, among certain football fan accounts and that kind of thing. And they will take any opportunity to attack a woman. It's just it's just true. But let's hear what she had to say here. This response is about a minute long, and I think that's important. Like, remember that, because there's another response we're going to have to listen to later that's like 6 minutes long from the mother, and I'm not looking forward to that.
I'm just gonna tell my half of the story of what happened today with a mother and child who were involved with a security guard who is not my personal security. I didn't even see a woman and a child. Like, I did not, no one came up to me. No one bothered me. Like, I was just sitting at breakfast in my hotel. I think these people were staying at the hotel as well. So the fact that, like, a security guard I did not ask the security guard to go up and talk to this mother and child. They did not come up to me. They weren't doing anything. It's unfair for security to just assume someone doesn't have good intentions when they have no reason to believe because there's no action even taken. Like, I do not hate people who are fans of my music. I do not hate children. Like, that is crazy. I'm sorry to the mother and child that someone was assuming something, that you would do something, and that if you felt uncomfortable, that makes me really sad. You did not deserve that.
Okay, I think that's a fair response. Like, that was not particularly crazy or anything. I mean, I'm gonna take it at face value. So she didn't see them, and she doesn't like that this happened. She does not think that this was an appropriate way for this situation to have been handled. She's not approving of the guard's behavior. Okay, so that's fair. I don't really think um we forgive her. Now let's cancel Chris Brown. Girl, that's never happening. I wish, but I think we gotta.
On my house.
I think we gotta just accept that one's a lost cause. um, I honestly think it's kind of weird how much there does seem to be a significant effort to attack this woman for just about anything that she does, and I don't necessarily understand it. She does not seem particularly off-putting or offensive. I don't know what the disdain is towards her. I don't know if it's just, garden variety misogyny, or if there's something deeper happening here, but it is getting a little weird, but there is more. There's more. Hold on. Hold the phone. We have more. Yeah, we'll go to this part next. God damn. Okay, so this is where things get a little annoying, because why did she need to make a 6-minute response to the 1-minute video? Girl, who has time? Who has time? Okay. Catherine Harding, mother of the 11-year-old girl involved in the chapel. I'm going to say chapel. I don't know if that's right. I feel like I've heard them say it that way, and I don't know if that's the correct way. And I overthink these things all the time because, like, if I go through this whole video saying it wrong, I'm going to be embarrassed. I'm going to feel some type of way about that. I am. So, uh, I'm preparing myself for that. Um, security guard incident shares her side of the story in new video. So here we go.
Hi guys.
6 minutes and 21 seconds. There is a playback speed. Oh, thank God. Okay. We're gonna do like 1.25 or to get through this just a little bit faster because oh my God. Oh boy.
Good morning. Bon dia. I wanted to say something because I'm getting so many messages about this now. And honestly, I didn't realize it would get this crazy, but a lot of people ask me like what actually happened and everything else. And I know that Chappelle has responded saying that it wasn't.
Okay, so it is Chappelle. I don't fucking know, dude. I have like one fucking brain cell right now. Sure, Chappelle. Chappelle. We'll go with Chappelle. We're locking it in. I'm locking it in. I'm locking my answer in. Chappelle. If we're wrong, we're wrong. And I blame this woman for all of my problems in life.
That it wasn't her security and that she didn't do it. So 100% this security guard was not a security guard of the hotel. That's what I can say. He looks after artists. So I don't know if it was her personal security guard, but he was with her. So that is all I know. Did she send him to do it? Again, I don't know. Look, I would like to hope not, but at the same time, I think that you have a responsibility when you are a celebrity to make sure, I guess, that the people that work for you and that act on your behalf are acting on your behalf. So would he do that if he didn't have her authority to do so? I don't know. If
Girl, you don't know a lot. Like she's doing that thing. She's doing that thing where she puts out an idea and she goes, I don't know. I'm just asking questions. She's just asking questions. Bro. I don't know. I gotta say there's something about this whole thing that is not settling well with me. I don't know how I feel. It feels very manufactured. It feels very, and I want to tell you, I have never listened to a Chappelle Roan song in my life. I'm not like a fan. This is a completely unbiased neutral opinion. I have no skin in the game. I have no connection to this person, so I am just completely giving my view here on this situation. I just think that these people are kind of silly. um, like it's entirely possible that the guard acted on his own volition, that he made a decision without her know-how, and I don't really know what she wants to happen here. Does she just want people to be mad at Chappelle, or does she want people to, like, I don't know what she wants, because like Chappelle made a video, she gave her side of the story. She apologized. She stressed that she did not like that this was the way things were handled, and I'm not really sure what else can be done to remedy the situation at this point. Like, do you want tickets to a concert? Like, is that it? I mean, I guess we can slide a couple your way, is if that'll solve things, if that'll put an end to this whole situation. Sure, fuck it. I don't care. I mean, if that's what it takes to make you guys shut up at this point. Because I feel like there's this video is like 5 minutes left in it. What is she going to possibly say?
He does, then obviously that's a big problem, because then he's representing her in a way that she doesn't want to be represented. So I think that's really important for her to notice and realize that's not correct. What happened exactly as she said, she didn't notice.
I mean, if this wasn't one of her guards, like one of her like usual guards, and it's just like somebody who was hired or assigned for this day, then I don't really know what else can be said or done. Again, what is the goal? I want to know the goal.
This anything or anyone, because as I said, as my husband said, sorry, nothing happened. Literally, we were staying in the same hotel, we were at breakfast, and we noticed a girl walk past with long red hair, very curly, and I said to my daughter, oh, do you think that's Chappelle Roan? And she looked and she said, oh my God, Mum, do you think it's her? And so she said, I'm going to go and have a look outside. And she was sat just outside in the garden area, which we were also free to go into. The door was open. And so I went back to the table to sit and eat, and my daughter walked through the door. She didn't have her phone. She didn't try to take a picture. She didn't approach her. She literally didn't do anything. She just looked at her and smiled. And she came back and she actually said to me, Mum, I don't know if it's her. Because obviously she looks like, you know, with her costumes and everything, she looks a little bit different. So my daughter said, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if it was her. I think it was her, Mum. It really, really looks like her, but I don't know. Maybe it's her sister. She said, maybe it's her sister. And I said, oh, I don't know, darling. And that was it. We continued our breakfast. And from that, then came the security guard, who, as I said, as my husband said, sorry, had a very aggressive tone. And I feel like if she did not send, I mean, even if she did send him or she didn't send him, I don't know. For me, I feel like it really overstepped a boundary, because he is quite an intimidating, he is very large. So for him to come over to a table with just a woman and her daughter eating breakfast, to kind of like berate and scold us and say that he was going to complain and tell me that I should be teaching my daughter to be better and that she's badly educated and we should respect people's privacy and we should not harass people and all of these other things. And I did try and explain to him the situation, that she's a child and she was just very excited to see her an artist and singer that she admires, and can he not understand that's all she was doing. And I explained to him also that my husband is also very well known, and that she's very used to being around people that are well known, and she would never.
I just I think maybe like, it's just okay. The guard, yeah, if the guard did all this shit, like, he was doing a lot. He did a lot of extra shit, and he probably shouldn't have done all the extra shit. You're also doing a lot of extra shit at this point. Like, posting this interaction online to be like, fuck Chappelle Roan, crazy. Because that is kind of what they've done. I think it was either like the husband or something who made a post that was kind of out there. It was just kind of like the way people are responding to this. It's very much been done to go after Chappelle, and like I don't know her. She's a human being. She's gonna have good days. She's gonna have bad days. I imagine that there are times when she is, probably a little rude to people. Probably not the most, not always in the best mood, like everybody else on the planet. So, I don't know. That's just kind of human existence and interaction. But there is like, sure, she's a celebrity, she's gonna have to deal with that shit, whatever. But I don't know, you did all this. You did all this, and it seems like you've done all this to really go after Chappelle, when the problems here seems to be the security guard. And it just seems like you don't believe that the security guard wasn't acting under her, instruction, which is a bit of a assumption to make. It's not necessarily, doesn't have to be the case.
Never cross someone's boundaries or overstep a mark. She very much knows the limits, not to ever, be rude or make anyone feel. She understands very well. And I tried to explain this to him, and then he just kept saying, well, if that's the case, then you should know better. You should know how it is. You should know how it is, so you should teach her to be better. You shouldn't allow her to be like this. And I was shocked. And I did actually say to him at the time, I said, well, if this is the case that she doesn't even want people to look at her, she is very welcome to eat breakfast in her room, because this here is a public area and I am a paying guest as well as her. So if I want to walk past someone's table and look at them, I have every right to do so. I am not approaching her. I'm not doing anything to make her feel intimidated or nothing. Like, it's an 11-year-old child. So yes, this is the last thing I'm going to say about this now, because it's getting a bit crazy. Lots of people are sending me messages like, is this true, is this true, is this true? And then lots of messages now about, obviously, Chappelle's message that she's put out. So I hope that she did not know, and I hope that she did not send her security over to do this. I really think that she's a very, very, very talented artist. We liked her a lot. We came all the way to Sao Paulo to watch the show. It was my daughter's birthday present. She actually asked for tickets to come for her birthday present, which was a little bit ruined because we didn't go to the show last night. But it's how it is. But yeah. Anyways, this is how it is. We'll say no.
Okay, that's kind of crazy. You still could have gone to the show. Like, that's on you. That's you. You made that choice. You made that choice. I don't know what to say. You made that choice. You didn't have to skip out on the show just because of the whole interaction at breakfast. Like, that's kind like, am I just broke? Am I just broke? Like, is that it? Like, I don't have that much money, so obviously I would have paid, however much money for these fucking tickets, and I'm still going to the goddamn concert. Like, I don't give a fuck. Is that it? Is it just because I don't have that money? I'm not making bank like that. I'm not married to a footballer, so I don't have that income coming in like that, which is fine. That's chill. Like, I'm not really a big concert person anyway, but if I did spend money on tickets to a concert, I'm still going no matter what interaction I had at breakfast with the artist. Especially if it was something like this where I didn't actually have an interaction with the artist, but with their security guard, who may or may not be acting on his own volition. Sure, you can assume that she may know or may have told him to do XYZ. I really I lean towards the guard doing this on his own. That's my sort of assumption here. I feel like if this were something that she was instructing people to do, it would probably happen more often. It probably would not be the first time she's had an incident involving a security guard. I mean, if this is something that, she tells people to do often, that she instructs like new guards who are, or like temporary guards, to be like, hey, like treat people like this if they even look at me. I think this would be something we would see happen more often. So I don't think that's probably. I think it's probably an outlier, a one case scenario kind of thing, and I don't think we needed a 6-minute video response, but okay.
More on it. That's it. I hope that maybe if it wasn't her, that she learns to not allow the people that work for her to treat people like this. And yeah, that's the end of it. My daughter's not right.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think that this is also maybe a good opportunity for both you and your daughter to learn that sometimes people suck. But like, again, I think the guard did too much and definitely was not acting in the best behavior there. Like, I feel bad for the kid. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the kid who ultimately is probably the person who is going to be most affected by this incident, because it'll obviously stick with her. And if she continues to perceive it in this way, where it's like this aggressive slight from this artist that she loves, then that's really gonna suck. I don't think it's that. I think that her her mother might not be helping the situation a little bit with this. But like this shit is silly. What about her daughter? Do you guys not care about the fact that a 11-year-old girl was traumatized from this situation? Like, what traumatized? Like, where was the trauma? Like, a man got a little harsh with them at breakfast. Like, I'm sorry. I I don't really think that's like traumatizing. I like, again, that's just, you gotta just teach your daughter how to navigate the real world at that point. Like, she's going to have to deal with people who are maybe a little mean to her sometimes. I imagine she's not going to always be around people who like her. Yeah. um it's just, yeah, I think that saying shit like, oh, she's traumatized is very silly, very funny. You're kind of dragging it at this point. When you start saying you're traumatized and after over like one interaction, you're kind of dragging it out. And there was one other thing here. One other thing here. Here we go. Because they're definitely sticking with this whole us versus her thing, I guess. And we got the mayor of Rio de Janeiro says Chappelle Roan will never perform at their annual Todo Mundo no Rio event held in Copacabana Beach as long as he's in charge of the city, following, oh god, Georgino's sure, claims about how her security guard treated his daughter. He also invited his daughter to see this year's headliner, Shakira. He responded with 2 hearts. Oh man. So I guess now it's like a whole thing. She'll get to see Shakira. She didn't get to see Chappelle Roan, but she will get to see Shakira. I guess there's that. What else can you say? Yeah, okay. I wanted to see what this whole situation was about and if there was any substance to it. And what I've gotten is that there is none. There is no real substance to this whole thing. It does seem like a bit of a nothing burger. It is funny how much of like a it is funny how much discourse Chappelle Roan seems to cause. She does seem to break something in people's brains. I'm not really sure what it is, but some of these videos, some of these replies, man. Chappelle when a kid smiles at her. That's funny. Like I think we should just meme about it and move on, you know? I think that's where I'm at. Let's just meme about it and let's just move on. We'll have a few laughs and we'll all go home. Can we all just do that? Also, I guess this guy follows Benjamin Netanyahu. That's crazy. Yeah, so also sure, yeah. Not to defend Chappelle, but there's this energy of public scrutiny. But where's this energy of public scrutiny for abusers, rapists, and or pedophiles? Sure, yeah. There's also that aspect of it. So, what are you gonna do? I don't think I don't know. I love the AI responses in here. That reaction feels a bit excessive for someone involving a security guard rather than the artist directly. Banning someone entirely over that kind of incident seems more than fair. What? Seems more emotional than fair. That said, the gesture towards Georgino's daughter was classy. It shifts the focus to kindness and makes up for a bad experience. Still, decisions like this should be balanced, so one moment doesn't define everything. Oh man. Yeah, so crazy. What a silly, silly world we live in. All right. What else we got? What else we got tonight? God, ooh. I don't know if I want to get into that. I don't know if I want to get into that because that was annoying. Do we want to talk a little bit about Cuba? Let's talk a little bit about Cuba. Who? Okay, so oh god, where do we even start here? Because there's like so like okay, we talked a little bit about Cuba maybe on Friday maybe. I don't know if I actually got to it. But the big spicy discourse all week long, or all weekend long, I guess, has been the whole convoy, aid, flotilla, whatever you want to call it. And there's been some again, it's been a weekend of discourse. It's been a weekend of discourse. Let me find a good place to start here. Our favorite foreign policy commentator, Ethan Klein, has been on the case, of course. These dumb motherfuckers went to Cuba to throw a rave for themselves with the last drops of oil on the island. He's been talking about the flotilla. I will just call it a flotilla from here on out, although it was more of a I guess convoy, a combination of things like planes, boats, that kind of thing. I guess what I really wanted to talk about with all of this is the response, because I do just think it's been interesting. And I am someone who does like to really analyze, I guess, how we respond to things and how like just people respond to things. And I do really like breaking down stupid internet discourse. I can't help it. Because I do think there are some valid possible criticisms that have been levied here. Um but for the most part it's been a lot of bad faith attacks of the sort of people involved with the flotilla. The big one being Hassan Piker, of course. Wherever he goes, there is going to be a bit of backlash, a bit of contention from certain people. But I think that no matter how you feel about Hassan, we should be able to at least sort of recognize that I do think that overall this has been a net positive. Um I do think more people I do think there are more eyes on Cuba, even if it's just a few more eyes. I do think there is more people who have possibly more information about Cuba, about what is happening, about the sort of the blockades, the embargoes, that kind of thing, the sanctions, whatever you want to. I'm not always the best with the terminology in these cases, but the restrictions that America has put on Cuba and the effects of that, which has led to now, making it so that they have no oil, which means they have no energy, which means just exactly what you would expect that to mean, a basic sort of collapse of the just ability to do things when there's outages and that kind of thing. They're still living their lives, they are still functioning to the best of their abilities, but it is obviously having an effect. It is taking an effect on their hospitals, on their ability to take care of people. For example, let me grab this. One second. There's not too much about this right now, and I don't know how much information there will be, but there have been reports that during the blackouts last night or over the weekend, I guess, there were the patients on the ventilators died because again, blackouts, which means no longer having power to the generators. And I imagine it's not just the people on ventilators, but there's also one thing that has stuck with me throughout all of this is my mother is currently on dialysis, and I can't help but think about the people who have to continue trying to get their dialysis treatments throughout this entire blockade, throughout these outages, and how just devastating that is. How devastating being on dialysis already is. It's a incredibly trying and incredibly exhausting experience, and you are going multiple times a week for 4 hours to sit in a chair and have this procedure done to do the function of your kidneys. And if you don't have that happen, then these toxins build up in your body and it starts to kill you. So if you are not able to have this done regularly on a regular basis, that is what happens. It's just it is just incredibly devastating. I don't know how else to put it. And we are just kind of we are just one of the worst. Because we can't stop this. Like, America can stop this. There's no reason for this. There's no rhyme or reason for this. There's no purpose to this. It is just entirely cruelty based, and yeah. So, but you have people like this lovely motherfucker here. The only place in Cuba where currently has electricity is a 5-star hotel where Hassan Piker and Code Pink are staying. Hospitals don't even have electricity. These people are the world's biggest useful idiots. And it's just like, as far as that even being true, it's not. But you're just a fucking pro-Israel piece of shit who just wants to take shots at Hassan Piker. And I just, there is such a there's such a lack of humanity in you when you can get up here and spend your entire fucking time shitting on people who are attempting to do at least some good. Even if you want to criticize their methods, you want to criticize the way they're going about it, whatever. There are obviously ways to have constructive criticism and in the constructive discourse in that regard, but you're also just kind of not even raising points that I honestly think are valid. If anything, your points are less important than other things. Like, the blockade that America is putting on Cuba is more important than the possible minimal amount of aid or support that this flotilla was able to bring. I think that you're truly being ridiculous at that point. There's a more important aspect in this that should be focused on, and that was the point of the flotilla, was to put focus on the blockade, to put focus on what we are doing to Cuba. Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of Americans don't know or don't care. And if they don't know or don't care, nothing is going to be done about it. So that's been that discourse, and I do think it has been incredibly frustrating. But I do think that there are maybe some criticisms that may or may not be worth considering. Like, I think the big one that I've seen that has any sort of actual weight to it is the fact of maybe people weren't wearing masks enough. I do think there is a conversation to definitely be had about going to a island that is currently experiencing blackouts, that is currently experiencing a crisis in its sort of healthcare system because of that, and possibly bringing with you outside illnesses or whatever. I think that is definitely a conversation that one could be having. The masking conversation is one that we are always having all the fucking time. and we will probably always be having it, unfortunately. I don't think that one's going to be resolved anytime soon. But yeah, I do think that it does seem a bit silly here. But other than that, I just I don't know. I don't know. A lot of the discourse, a lot of the complaints I have seen have been pretty pretty just pretty bad faith, I guess. I don't know. Pretty ridiculous because like I don't want to be that person that makes everything about Hassan, but there are definitely a lot of people who took issue with this flotilla because of Hassan. I don't think that is an unfair thing to say. There were a lot of people who don't like Hassan and are going to take the position of anything he does is bad. And because of that, they are going to find every thread and critique they can about what he is participating in. So, while some of those critiques may end up being valid in some ways, they're not always coming from a place of someone who actually cares about those issues or who actually wants to have a conversation about those issues. And oftentimes it comes from a place of somebody who wants to attack a certain person. In this case, it's Hassan. So I do think that it's very frustrating as well to deal with because I wish we could just sort of have these I wish we could have these sort of conversations and have this sort of discourse in a constructive way that isn't about just attacking one person. But like that's not really Hassan's fault. Like it's not his fault, I guess, that he attracts a lot of fucking weirdos to these conversations. But I do think it sucks. Like I do think it is just an unfortunate thing that happens here. Quite a bit. And it makes it very hard to have an actual conversation or actual constructive discourse about these things because a lot of these people are coming from a place of just Hassan bad. So yeah, I think that was all I had to say about that though. Um I don't really have too much. I don't have too much to say about necessarily the topic of Cuba, I guess specifically. Obviously there are people who like the whole conversation in my opinion is very frustrating and not one that I enjoy necessarily having because, you know, there's going to be people who are like, oh, but the Cuban government is awful and blah blah blah. And it's like I don't necessarily um one, I don't necessarily agree, and two, I don't necessarily care um because of what we are doing to Cuba. It doesn't matter. And it's the same idea behind America will attack Iran because they want to help um you know, with regime change and make things better for Iranians, and that's not the case, you know, like that's not true. That's not ever a factor. America never cares about making things better for the people on the ground, for the people in that country, and the same for Cuba. So the idea that the blockade on Cuba is to, you know, hurt the government or whatever for being bad is silly and stupid. It's not. That's just you're being dumb, and I don't want to have that conversation. You're being dumb, you're being silly, and maybe maybe we just move on and we never have this conversation again. So, yeah, awesome. We live in a country. We live in a country, boyos. Not a good one. And you can't make me say that it is. Alright. Is there anything else I want to get to? I might wrap it up early tonight, as I am still not feeling great, but we did get to a couple topics here. Oh, we've got a... Here.
Because ask yourself, why is it that we are in the business of funding foreign military?
Our partner in this is Israel, which
pause.
you've been critical
The video won't
of. Would
pause.
you, if you...
Here, hold on.
Which you've been...
Okay. Okay, one more thing real quick. So, Abdul El-Sayed, Dr. Abdul El-Sayed. This is an election I do actually have to care about, and where my opinion does actually matter for once. It's crazy, I know. I can finally talk about an election where my opinion holds some level of weight. Crazy. That never gets to happen. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I will most likely be voting for him. I don't like the other options are not appealing in any way, shape, or form. So there is that. That being said, I'm still not like in love with the guy. He's all right. He's all right. He hasn't like I'm not ready to like sign my life away or anything like that, you know.
Been critical of. Would you, if you become senator, would you continue to vote, or I should say, vote to approve the continued sale of arms to Israel?
I would not, because ask yourself, why is it that we are in the business of funding foreign militaries when we cannot afford good schools and healthcare here at home?
Like, that's good, but I also want to know, like, you also include defensive arms in that. Because, like, basically everyone is like, I won't sell, like, arms to Israel at this point, but, like, people always get, like, shitty when it comes to, like, defensive arms. Like, I also want to not give them defensive arms, you know? So, like, I assume he agrees with me on that, but I don't know.
I'm sick and tired of being told what to do by a foreign government, because ask yourself, who is this war in Iran for, aside from the weapons manufacturers, aside from Israel, who's been trying to pick a war with Iran for 40 years and finally found a president dumb enough to do it? This is
not about American security? Doesn't make us safer?
We were not at any imminent risk. In fact, they told us that when they bombed Iran in July, they had addressed the imminent risk. And now we're back a couple months later. What are we going to do this again 8 months from now? This is an incoherent approach to foreign policy. Meanwhile, they tried to, take Greenland, and then there's the whole Venezuela situation. Now they're talking about Cuba. I mean, where else do they want to go? And at the end of the day, I don't pay my tax dollars. You don't pay your tax dollars. We're about to pay taxes next month. We don't do that so another country gets a tank or a bomb. We do that so our kids get good schools and good health care, which, by the way, they don't have. So I think we need to be focusing on making sure that people can afford the things they need here at home, rather than making endless war that our young people have to fight in, that our treasure goes to fund.
All right, yeah. I mean, no complaints there. The comments are going to be
is Israel,
annoying,
which you've been critical
sure.
of. Would you
pause? There we go. Wrong. We pay taxes to defend America. America. I love I love a good typo, man. I really do. I'm so stupid. I'm 5 years old. America. We should only sell any extra weapons, but those are private companies. Oh man. Michigan, we throw money at schools and our children can't read. We also pay our taxes not to go to illegal immigrants and fraud like in Minnesota and California. Iran war is something I want my tax dollars to go to. The peace president ending the war after 47 years. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh my god. I can't. We're so cooked, dude. We're so fucking cooked. I hate my statesman, man. I hate my statesman. But yeah, I mean, I like him. I will probably be voting for him. Again, the other options are not particularly appealing. So, what else am I gonna do there? But I'm also, I'm not like I don't hate him. Not like upset about it. There are definitely worse people that we could be choosing from. We'll see. We'll be keeping an eye on this one for the next few months for sure. Going forward, seeing how things go. Because again, this is an actual election where my opinion holds at least a 0.01% of a weight here, if that. But other than that, don't have much to say. I have been just keeping an eye on him, out of the corner of my eye, watching, monitoring the situation, if you will. Alrighty. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? I think no. I think that's it. I think that's it. Here, we'll end it with this. Chappelle Roan just slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. And it was this version of Chris. It's his child, Chris. Oh, man. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? You know what, though? You know who I need to get some slap a man over their wife energy? Zoran Mamdani. Zoran Mamdani, I need you to start slapping bitches if they talk about your wife like that. You hear me, brother? Like, you hear me? Respectfully, if someone's going to talk about your wife, I need you to start slapping bitches. And on the other hand, I need people to stop being annoying about some of the shit, because like there's like, again, there's been so much discourse this weekend. This has been like, I guess the other bit of discourse happening is Zoran's wife and her former tweets from when she was younger. Yeah, so Zoran's wife had some tweets from when she was younger. Some of them have been some of them are like, typical sort of younger kid stuff. And then other ones, she did drop the N-word, I believe, at one point. And you've got people. Okay, I gotta be real. I absolutely 100% hate this shit. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find a post that has like the tweets, maybe. But I really do hate when people are like, oh, like everyone had like an edgy racist period. Like, okay, no. Not everybody. Um like they're like because not everybody is white, okay? Like not everybody's white. Like I just I am not white. I did not have a racist edgy period. I'm sure there was a period where I said things that maybe I shouldn't be saying. I wouldn't say that those things were edgy or anything like that. It's just like probably ignorant things where I didn't know a thing was bad and then it became known to me that a thing was bad and I stopped saying that thing. Um yeah, so this was one of the ones that people were talking about here. Yeah, so she said it as like a lyric. Uh but on February 2nd, 2013, used the N-word in a post on X, Twitter at the time, obviously. She was 15 years old at the time. Hell yeah. Super duper, yeah, da da. So, I don't, like, I just, okay. Like, obviously, she shouldn't say it. I am a black woman. I don't say it very often, but that's just because it's not in my vocabulary. It's just not a word that I use particularly often, not necessarily out of any desire to not use it, but just not one that comes naturally to me. Um but like saying shit like this, like saying this isn't racist and trying to dredge up and attack someone for shit posting they did at 15 is pathetic, not journalism. Like saying it's not racist is very silly. Like you're doing a little too much now. Like using the word, whether you are using it in a derogatory way or not, um like there is a racial aspect to it. It's not it may not you may not necessarily be using it to attack somebody, but you are still using it and you still should not be. Um and then you have people like this who are saying it's not just that she was 15. It was also before the Zimmerman trial and before BLM formed, which basically nuked usage of the N word in kids. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, like, people weren't maybe saying it more often back then when they shouldn't have been saying it. Like, probably. But to say to say that Zimmerman and Black Lives Matter is what made it so that you couldn't say it, motherfucker, what are you talking about? It has always been something that you can get your ass beat for saying if you are not black. Oh my god, what the fuck? um Oh my god. Like I don't give a fuck about the shit that they're trying to like peg as like anti-Semitic and that kind of thing. Like that shit is not it's not anti-Semitic. They're using it to attack her because most of it is anti-Zionist and that kind of thing. Um and I'm not even saying that we should be attacking her over this because I don't think we should. I think it's stupid and pointless and this is one of those times where it's like, yes, um I think the wider conversation to be had right now is just like why do so many people feel like they can just dismiss the feelings of black people in this conversation because they're like, oh, we had a racist period. Everyone had a racist period. Like, no, not everyone had a racist period. And there were definitely black people, black children most likely, who had to deal with the consequences of your racist period. And so for you to sit up here and be like, everyone had a racist period, everyone was saying the N-word for whatever, it's like no. And I can laugh at a motherfucking like I can laugh at shit, you know. One of my favorite fucking videos on the internet is that white teacher saying the N-word. I'm not gonna play it because I feel like it would be a little silly to play it right now, but if you know what I'm talking about, it is one of my favorite videos on the internet. But it's like it's funny because he shouldn't be saying it. But I would but like I don't think that I don't think that this topic needed to be like the big conversation that it's become. I think that it's become a bigger conversation by people trying to downplay the actual racism that is at play here. Like yeah, she used the word she should not use, and it's possible she did not understand the the sort of history behind the word, but I doubt it. I doubt that she didn't have at least some inkling of the fact that it's not a word that she should maybe be using. Again, it's possible. I don't know. Um but I also again don't think it's something that she needs to be like crucified for fucking what, like 13 years later. um uh but it was racist. Like it is racist. So saying it isn't racism is silly. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Don't be that person, but also don't be the fucking person who posted this shit in the first place, which is this John Levin guy, who's like the wife of NYC Mayor Zoran Mamdani, shared several posts glorifying Palestinian terrorism. My guy, and then also she also used the N-word. Like I'm willing, like I don't know what the other let's see, hold on. Let's see if they have the other posts in here. Maybe. Yeah. First Palestinian women to fight in resistance after 1967 occupation. Of course he considers her a terrorist. I don't know necessarily why, but I mean I can guess why. I assume it's because she's Palestinian. That he considers that this article considers them a terrorist, but you know. So there's just you've got this one, which the first intifada, a terrorist uprising during which Hamas was established, blah blah blah. Again, no mention of Israel's actions, no mention of the Nakba or anything like that. Just a lot of focus on you know, sort of wait, what is this one? Posted an attack against US service members on her Tumblr in July 2015. Imagine digging back into someone's Tumblr, bro, from 2015. Oh my god, I hit the button. Hold on. American soldiers fighting in imperialist wars are not brave, nor are they fighting for anyone's freedom. They are mercilessly slaughtering third world civilians and fighting to maintain American hegemony. That is all. Thank you. Drops mics. What is incorrect about this? Where is the factually incorrect information here? Like again, like this is what I mean. This is why I feel like the whole fucking topic is very silly. Like yeah, she should not say the N-word. That's bad. We don't need to act like that wasn't a bad thing to do, or we don't need to act like that wasn't a shitty thing to do. But also, this entire attack is entirely just kind of like based on nothing. It's coming from a completely disingenuous place. This guy does not actually care about anybody using the N-word when they shouldn't. Like that's not something that he gives a fuck about. That's not something that the people who wrote this give a fuck about. It's entirely about attacking someone who is anti-Zionist, who is married to the mayor of New York, who is anti-Zionist, and they want to paint them in the worst light possible. So I do hate that I do hate that this whole thing has like resulted in discourse about the N-word and people trying to downplay it and shit like that, because it's so stupid and it's coming from a stupid like manufactured like conversation to begin with. And I hate that it's now developed into this actually somewhat organic discourse about the N-word and about people wanting to downplay people using the N-word, and it's turning it into a bigger conversation and into a bigger discourse. And it's exactly what was wanted by all of this. And it is frustrating because I do think that there is a conversation to be had about like people wanting to sort of downplay the sort of childhood racism that they engaged in, like the racism that they may have partook in as a child, even if they did not mean to, and they want to sort of downplay or distance themselves from that. And like I do think that there's a conversation to be had there. Like I think that we should be encouraging people to sort of evaluate that period they went through and maybe possibly try and keep other people from having those periods so that we can minimize the harm that Black children are experiencing because of racism from their peers. But instead of doing that, we are stuck with all of this fucking bullshit. Yeah. So again, all of these things are like are stupid. Hey Snapchat, show them the children locked in cages overnight, burned alive and starved to death in Palestine. But in all reality, Snapchat has disappointed me. Fuck Tel Aviv, shouldn't exist in the first place. They're occupiers, you celebrate them. And finally, hey Snapchat, as you give Israelis an outlet to celebrate their atrocities, you're supporting a genocidal state. Bye. This was in 2015. Still accurate. This was still accurate at the time. None of this is inaccurate. and then they throw in the N-word down here as a little afterthought, as a little afternote, as a little postscript for everybody to really rile up the masses here. We drop in her use of the N-word. And again, stupid, dumb, this is racist, you shouldn't do this shit. And then that's it. Like, yeah. Wow. So again, like don't be either one of these guys. Don't be either one of these fucking guys. This guy sucks and this guy sucks. So don't be either one of them. All right. I am gonna end the stream here though. Now that I've yapped about that for a little bit. And again, Zoran, I need you to start slapping motherfuckers. If they post another article about your wife like this, I need you to go and slap the motherfucker in the face. Or hire someone else to do it. I don't give a fuck. You're probably a busy man. You probably got a lot on your plate. Send Will Smith. I'm sure he's free. Send anybody. Somebody needs to get slapped. Like, I can't. I'm not doing this for like 4 fucking years, bro. This isn't gonna stop. They're not gonna stop coming after you. Unless you, make them. Like that is one of my definite critiques of Zoran. I think he's a little bit of a softie in some regards. In other regards, definitely not. In other regards, he stands his ground. He is, willing to sort of put his neck out there. But when it comes to some things, I think he gets a little nervous. He gets a little twitchy. And it's like, sir, you're the mayor of New York City. Like act like it. Let's act like it. Let's put a little oomph in our step. Come on. You can do this. You got this. You got this, and you got so many people, like, backing you up, hyping you up. Like, you got the whole damn fucking block ready to jump people for you. Like, use your clout for good, man. I don't know. Alright, that's enough. I'm a little tired. I gotta go. This was a short stream, very short stream for tonight, but, I will be back maybe sometime during the week. I don't know. It's gonna be a little bit of a busy week for me. Otherwise, I'll be back Friday. I'll try and see. I don't know if I'll have another video out before then either. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll definitely see what happens. But other than that, I am going to wrap this up. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I will see you all later. Check out my links down below. And be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, all that lovely stuff. And I will see you later. And